It is hard to find the words to describe what we saw on that debate stage last night.
Well, one word comes to mind. How about disgrace? It was an absolute disgrace. It was a mockery of a presidential debate, an insult to our democracy. From the start, President Trump was determined to defy the rules, repeat falsehoods, attack Joe Biden, dominate the stage. Joe Biden seemed exasperated, uneven at times, most forceful when he spoke directly to the American people on issues like COVID. What lingers the morning after, the sense that our civic life has hit a new low, Michael.
And George, our political team, they've been working all night covering the fallout. Mary Bruce starts us off in Cleveland. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Michael. This was a disaster. It is already being called the worst debate in modern history. Any substance was completely overshadowed by the president's interrupting and the constant squabbling. There were no winners here on the stage last night, and for Americans looking for answers, this was a real loss for them, too. Within minutes, it was clear this debate was going to be ugly.
I just want to make sure.
Joe, you're the
I want to make sure.
Graduated last in your class, not first in your class.
The president badgering Biden.
The president, can you let him finish, sir?
No, he doesn't know how to do that. He has,
You'd be surprised.
You pick.
You'd be surprised.
The former vice president exasperated,
Will you shut up, man?
Listen, who?
trying to look past his opponent and his attacks over and over again. Biden speaking directly to the American people.
Look, you folks at home, how many of you got up this morning and had an empty chair at the kitchen table because someone died of COVID?
One of the night's most stunning moments during a discussion on race. The president asked once and for all to condemn white supremacy. Trump instead telling a far-right extremist group to, quote, stand by.
You have repeatedly criticized the vice president for not specifically calling out Antifa and other left-wing extremist groups. But are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland?
Sure,
are you
I'm
prepared
willing
to
do
specifically
that, but
do it?
Well, go ahead, sir.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
So what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see peace.
Then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it.
Do you want to call him? What do you want to call him? Give me a name. Give me a
White
name.
supremacists and
Who would
white
you like me to condemn?
White supremacists and right
Proud
militia.
Boys, stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, because this is not a right-wing problem. This is a left-wing. This is a left-wing problem.
And on the pandemic, Biden ripped into the president's response.
The president has no plan. He hasn't laid out anything. This is the same man who told you by Easter this would be gone away. By the warm weather, it'd be gone. Miraculous, like a miracle. And by the way, maybe you could inject some bleach in your arm, and that would take care of it.
On the economic fallout, Trump slamming Biden for saying he would shut down the country if medical experts recommended it.
We don't need somebody to come in and say, let's shut it down.
You can't fix the economy until you fix the COVID crisis. And he has no intention of doing anything about making it better for you all at home in terms of your health and your safety.
I'm the one that brought back football. By the way, I brought back Big Ten football.
With health care top of mind for many voters, Trump was asked, where is his plan to replace Obamacare?
Over the last 4 years, you have promised to repeal and replace Obamacare, but you have never in these 4 years come up with a plan, a comprehensive plan to replace Obamacare.
Of course I have.
Well,
I got rid of the individual mandate.
I'm going to give you an opportunity.
I got rid of the individual mandate, which was a big chunk of Obamacare. That is absolutely a big thing. That was the worst part of Obamacare.
Sir,
Chris, that was the worst part of Obama.
Let me ask my question.
The moderator, Fox News' Chris Wallace, repeatedly forced to step in, at points chastising the president.
Excuse me.
Gentlemen, I hate to raise my voice, sir. It's just yeah, I understand. You've agreed to the 2 minutes, so please let him have it. Well, frankly, you've been doing more interrupting than he has.
All right, but he
Gentlemen,
well, then you know what?
No, we're done, sir. We're moving on to the next. We're moving. You know, if you want to switch seats.
The president was also pressed about that blockbuster New York Times reporting that Trump paid just $750 in federal income taxes in 2016 and 2017.
Will you tell us how much you paid in federal income taxes in 2016 and 2017?
Millions of dollars.
You paid millions of dollars?
Millions of dollars.
So
yes.
not 750.
Millions of dollars, and you'll get to see it. And you'll get to see it.
But again, the conversation quickly devolving.
The tax code that made him, put him in a position that he pays less tax than a school teacher makes. I'm going to eliminate those tax cuts. and make sure that we invest in the people who, in fact, need the help. People out there need help.
But why didn't you do it over the last 25 years?
Because you weren't president. Because you weren't president screwing things up.
You were a senator. And
You're
by
the
way,
worst
you were
president America has ever had.
34 days to go, the candidates trying to make their closing arguments.
There has never been an administration or president who has done more than I've done in a period of 3.5 years.
Under this president, we become weaker, sicker, poorer, more divided, and more violent.
And if the election doesn't go his way, Trump foreshadowing turmoil, again without evidence, claiming there will be election fraud and refusing to say if he will accept the results.
I'm urging my supporters to go into the polls and watch very carefully, because that's what has to happen. And if it's a fair election, I am 100% on board. But if I see tens of thousands of ballots being manipulated, I can't go along with that. And I'll tell you what,
does that
from
mean,
a common sense,
does that mean you're going to tell your people to take to the street?
It means you have a fraudulent election.
But Biden says there's a simple answer.
It's the same process. It's honest. No one has established at all that there is fraud related to mail-in ballots, that somehow it's a fraudulent process. If I win, that will be accepted. If I lose, that'll be accepted. But by the way, if in fact he says he's not sure what he's going to accept, well, let me tell you something. It doesn't matter, because if we get the votes, it's going to be all over. He's going to go.
And as if that charade wasn't exhausting enough, we still have 2 more of these. And this morning, the campaigns say the other debates are still on. Their next face-off now 2 weeks away.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.